There was a mild drama at the Federal High Court in Abuja after a former publicity secretary of the opposition People's Democratic Party, Metuh, arrived in court on a stretcher. His lawyers had claimed he was ill, but the judge insisted that he appear in court or have his bail revoked. Following the judge's order, Metuh appeared in court on Monday, but on a stretcher. After seeing the former spokesperson in court on a stretcher on Monday, the judge adjourned the matter to March 15, 2018.
In what looked like a drama, former publicity secretary of the PDP, Metuh, was wheeled into the courtroom on a stretcher. The court had ruled that Metuh be brought to the court after EFCC objected to a long adjournment sought by his counsel. After seeing Metuh's condition, Justice Abang wasted no time in adjourning the case to March 14 to enable the embattled PDP chieftain to treat himself. I'm
sure you recall, on the last adjourned date, there was a specific order that the matter must certainly go on today, in spite of the fact that we had forwarded a medical report as to his indisposition. And as far as we are concerned, an order of court must be obeyed. So what we did essentially was to compel an obedience of that order, and that entailed Mr. Metuh, Chief Metuh himself, insisting on his discharge. And when the hospital authorities refused, he had to enter into an undertaking that he was being discharged at his own peril. We did all that in order to convince his lordship that nobody was playing any pranks, that he was genuinely ill. And as you also recall, we had pleaded for release of his passport to enable him to undertake the surgery, the much required surgery. That problem is persistent, it hasn't gone away. And that is a reoccurrence that we are seeing now. Perhaps if he had gone on to have a surgery, that would have brought about a complete termination of the illness, but it is there. And our prayer is that come the next adjourned date, at least the doctors would have ascertained exactly what remedies can be applied. And then if it's fine, it will be all right. We made an offer to the EFCC today. We requested them to agree on a doctor of their choice, a consultant of their choice, to examine him and then write an independent report that we are willing to pay. And we did all that to convince them that the man is not feeling well. He should at least be alive to stand his trial. The state will gain nothing if he drops dead.
As at the date we opposed the application, based on the medical report that they submitted to the court, the way and manner that report was submitted to the court did not lend credence to me as a prosecutor that it was real. The due process was not followed. That explained why we objected to the medical reports, and the court agreed with us. Now, today, a different scenario has played out in that, as we all saw, the man really looks down. And as human beings and as mere mortals, I mean, seeing with my eyes what I saw, I couldn't have played God, because all of us are liable to falling ill as human beings. So that explained why we could not oppose the application. Let him go and treat himself. Yeah, we wish him well.
Metuh was quickly carried into the waiting ambulance of the National Hospital Abuja, where he is receiving treatment. Tunji Oye, TV360, Abuja.